How's Shane?
So, Shane has retired. He gave it up. I don't blame him. Another episode, another week's worth of adventures, right, gentlemen?
Yep.
Big adventure.
Our producer just flat out abandoned us. I guess he just set the machine on autopilot. And there he is.
There he is.
Nice. So what's up? What's new?
Mate.
The cookies were too good. I had to take a moment.
There you go.
Can we go ahead and address the elephant in the room to start off with?
Okay.
First, I'd like to thank Dave for picking this up for me. I love it. It's great. I would like to have one in a dark blue. Unfortunately, I can't get one unless I'm willing to pay out about $120 on eBay. Because that's the only place you can find them at, apparently. And speaking of which, if Shane don't mind showing the offer I got, a guy offered me $95 for one with $15 shipping, or $14.95. Can you show that? You got that? Just the offer part. Good Lord, is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, he wanted $100 for it, and he made me. Of course, I was watching 2 or 3 of them, and he sent me an offer for $95. And I was actually, thinking, well, that's the cheapest one I've seen so far, because even the ones that go forbidden still end up going for about $100, and then you got to pay $10, $15 shipping. And then I scrolled on down to look at the user's feedback just to, see what kind of feedback you had. And if Shane show the next picture, I see this.
Yep.
His user ID is Toy FOMO.
Yep, that's it.
You're missing out. He's a straight up, downright dirty scalper.
Yep.
And he's rubbing it in our faces. He even put it in his username. He's selling these things, getting money off of people that's afraid they're going to miss out, so that he's getting money off of them. Well, he ain't getting my money. He can forget it. If he offered it to me for $10, I wouldn't take it.
You find it ironic? These guys are half the reason that people miss out is because they buy them all.
And you notice it says quantity of one. I looked on there, and he has 4 available. 4 of them. 4 available.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's my complaint. But if you out there watching this, if you see this guy on eBay, don't buy anything from him.
No.
Skip right over him.
Couldn't agree more.
I don't know how you could make it any plainer. He's just rubbing it in our faces.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Anyway, that got my gripe out of the way. So.
Yep. No,
I mean,
it's exactly right.
It's a legitimate gripe.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for free market.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that's not the same thing.
This is taking advantage of some situation.
Yep.
All it is.
It's creating a shortage.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It's a fault. They create false demand and FOMO, right? I mean, you want to get all psychological about it. The fact of the matter is this guy knows exactly what fuels his business.
Yep.
Right? They create a shortage, and then they stir crap up on the internet because, oh no, you're never going to get one unless you buy one from me. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Right? And there you go.
So, Phillip, Adam.
I'm going to tell you, I find Hasbro partially to blame. Number one, for putting a limit of 5 on this stuff. Yep. Number 2, I mean, at least if you got a membership, they would have guaranteed you to be able to get one if you spent the money on a membership.
Makes sense, wouldn't it? All you get is free shipping. You don't even get early access. You get early access to a screwed up app. Yep. Yeah, that's real helpful.
Yep.
I mean, so you just get frustrated an hour earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, seriously.
No.
Right? We're not even getting the benefit of free shipping. If you can't order nothing, you don't get free shipping.
Yep. So here's my thing. You guys on Facebook, go to Hasbro Pulse. Go to their Facebook page. Anything they post on there, bombard the comments about the ferret. We need more ferrets. We need more ferrets, and maybe we'll get it drove into them, and they'll produce more. And all these guys that bought all of them will be sitting there holding them. We can't get rid of them then.
I believe we'll get some at Pulse Con.
I hope so.
I don't know. But they pulled them from the site.
That's the thing that worries me since they took it from the site. I don't know if they'll offer anymore or not.
They pulled them from the site, which if I'm not mistaken, has happened before, and then things reappeared. But I don't think it's been real often. I think this cutting production thing may have worked a little bit too well. If you know what I mean by that, I think they may have cut the numbers too tight because it's very apparent at $100 a whack for a $55 toy plus shipping. That's 100% markup. That shows me that there's a demand there because people are actually paying it.
Yeah.
So,
and it's an army builder, so people are probably buying 2 or 3 of them at that price.
Right. So
I'm not, but
no. And I already told you guys what I went through to get mine. I played that game all weekend just to try to, catch them popping back up randomly. And I certainly had a lot more misses than I did hits, but it's just, most people don't have the kind of time to do that. Just don't. Because like I said, that was a 3-day weekend thing where I just kept looking at it literally every 10 or 15 minutes. And there must have been 11 or 12 hits where it said in stock, but I couldn't check out before they were gone. So it was one of those situations where people's cards were declined or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They canceled the orders, and I did manage to get a couple over a 3-day weekend, but that was just my OCD nonsense. I was hoping to get more for you guys, but couldn't. I mean, like I said, over 3 days, I managed to get 2 of them. I can tell you this right now, that claw, you better be on your toes because we already know what Hasbro's doing with that. If the ferret is any indication of what's going on with that, you probably ought to be on your toes as far as the claw goes.
Is it exclusive to Hasbro Pulse?
Haven't said, but they haven't said, but I'm gonna bet that it is. I just don't know. I bet it's an exclusive of some kind. Maybe not Pulse, maybe Amazon or something, but I would almost bet that one's going to be an exclusive too, because I just don't think the retailers want them. They got too many other $50 toys sitting there that they can't sell at this point in time. But I don't think anybody knows for sure. If they do, they haven't said. Not that I'm aware of, anyways.
Yeah. And that does.
I just looked on there. They took the vamp off too.
Oh, it's been gone.
Yeah, the vamp disappeared a while ago.
That does, what you mentioned, I know like some of the Walmarts, of course it's been out well over a year, but even some of the Walmarts still have that movie, the deluxe Starscream with the crown and the throne, and they still have it for $55. I had one at the show. I had it marked $20. I had people look at it, but nobody bought it. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. People just ain't got money, or
I think that's some of
they're
it.
tired of it, or tired of trying to. I don't know. Something's going on though. I mean, some stuff it's like you can't.
$20. If I didn't have it, I would jump on it already.
Well, I think I mentioned. I think it was last week. I really do. I think economically we've gone around a corner. I know personally I have. I went around that corner a while ago, and it just. Some people haven't quite gotten there yet, and other people's beat me to it, to be perfectly honest with you. But I do think something has happened. And I'm going to say in the last 90 days, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm seeing it on the toy shelves. I'm seeing it in tags disappearing from the toy shelves. Does that make any sense to you? I'm seeing the retailers really, really, really scale back on what they're ordering. I'm seeing it in these crowd-funded projects. Let's face it, they are not at warp speed like they were. I mean, the Kickstarter compendium for the classic G.I. Joe is the fastest moving thing I've seen all year.
Yep.
But that was I'm going to put that one in a kind of a different category because the scalpers have ruled the day. Well, not the scalpers. Let's be fair. The gougers, because there's a difference. These people have been gouging on those trade paperbacks for quite a while, considering the fact that they were printed in 2002. I'm sorry, but there is not a trade paperback on the planet worth $500. That's what they were getting. That's not just what they were charging, but that's what they were getting. And that was out of desperation because that last 5 or 6 episodes of the original run, John will tell you some of those are $150 per book.
Yep.
If you could find them. And you're certainly not going to be reading them when you could. So that, I think that was the driver behind the compendium.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's just my observation on that.
And I hope they follow through with the other 155 through 300.
Yeah, they're really got my mind.
Some of those books in that early part of that run, in the around 150 to 200, some of those books $25, $30 a piece, just single issues.
Yep. So I just think we've gone around the corner, guys. I'm looking at what McFarlane's doing, and he's just flat out to tick everybody off, as far as I can tell. And if you actually look at what's going on with his product, about 10% of it or less is actually in demand. The rest of it, no one cares about. To be perfectly honest with you, no one cares about the other 90% of it. So,
yeah, I saw the Huntress went up for order, and of course the Platinum is the classic, the one that everybody wants, or that's the one I want. I don't care nothing about the new 52 one. But
the Penguin was the same way.
Yeah.
There's something going on with the new Question figure that hasn't been really announced yet. We know he's coming, but there's going to be some type of variant on him. This is the game the man wants to play, so either buy it or don't, right? But it's not collecting anymore. It's I don't know what you'd want to call it. It's not fun. See, and I was wondering about that, if this was going to be, what do they call it? Not fan site, but what do they call it when they offer it? Fan channels, yes, which is Big Bad, Entertainment Earth, Amazon, GameStop.
Is that Mason?
Yeah, it's Mason.
Yeah. Okay. It
My
kind of
neck-
gives it away.
My neck's still hurting, Mason. Thanks.
That 6'10" kind of give it away.
That's my glasses.
Yeah, that boy
Say
switched
that
up.
top high.
He's definitely one you say, hey, can you get that off the top shelf for me?
That's right.
How's the weather
So
up there?
that's interesting. I hadn't heard that, but I like I said, I'm not surprised, because I really genuinely do. I don't think the retailers want any more $50-$55 toys on the aisle. They just don't. I don't think they want $30 toys anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. Boy, that the Roadblock Tripwire Tiger Force 2-pack is an absolute disaster.
Yeah,
as
and
far
that
as
thing
sales
sold
goes.
out. I was thinking back, and that pack sold out quicker than anything in that wave area.
Yep.
It sold out quick, and now it's just sitting everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those things come per case, 4 or 6, but every Target I've been to in the last 3 weeks has got at least 2 cases of them sitting there. Sitting there.
Yes,
they're not moving.
I'll say Oxford Target, they got in. I think I counted 8 that day. I went down there before the street date and tried to buy one. And when I was down there last time, there was only one left on the shelf. So I bought one, and somebody bought 6 of them.
Wow.
So I was surprised.
Yeah, there's got to be 8 or 10 of them sitting at Trustville still.
But they were 3 Naga hides, and when I went back, a week later, there was still 2 of them left. So I don't know.
I got my refund from that fiasco that we went through. So I was actually able. I finally opened my Naga hide. But yeah, right. Those seem to evaporate. But I have to tell you guys, I said this to Shane yesterday. That was after tax, selling out $55 for one figure and a couple of small animals. Boy, that was a tough pill to swallow. I mean, $50.
Mm-hmm.
That's my trust file.
And the illegitimate monkey has absolutely no articulation at all.
No, this little I'm sorry, this little guy right here, he's nothing but a statue. That's it. Illegitimate monkey.
Yeah.
He's got apparently rigor mortis too.
Ugly one too.
It's just no. It's like Major Blood got some splaining to do here, because
that monkey has nothing on Oliver
resemblance there. I'm telling you, this is that wild weekend in Vegas with.
Well,
No, I mean,
that
like I said,
Naga had killed him and stuffed him. He's supposed to be a statue.
I think so. Yeah, but I mean,
He's a monkey poacher.
for an obscure character, $50 was.
Yeah.
Oy, oy, oy. Oliver's King.
They were playing it big on the fact
Yes,
that
he
it was
is.
dreadnought, because they know a lot of people want to get all the dreadnoughts.
Yeah, but
You know what the
the
cost?
Hogeye figure is amazing, and the
What's that?
Warthog, both
Yeah.
of them figures are amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't need the monkey. The monkey is stupid.
It is stupid.
I mean,
Yeah, it should have been a $35 figure.
the only thing good for that monkey is maybe if you got a diorama with a tree in the background, you stick him on it, and that's about it.
I wish the eye patch was removable because we could reenact the Serpentor scene in the comic, right? Just stick an arrow right out of his head. But he was sitting on top of a hit tag with an arrow sticking out of his head. This is for those of you that don't know, go back and read it. I don't know, guys. I'm not surprised to see that the claw will be a direct to consumer.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of figuring it would be.
Yeah.
And thanks for that information, Mason.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, hopefully it's true. I mean,
I think,
not just,
I
and
think
I mean,
don't get away from it. Don't go on a peg.
yeah, I think all of this is going to direct to consumer.
And
I don't
we've been
think they
saying
really
that
have any
for
choice.
a year now.
Yeah,
Well, I was doing the math. So when they relaunched the O-ring figures in 2001, with all the the first wave or two didn't even have O-rings. They didn't have, they were limited on their articulation. And then they brought the O-rings in real quick because I think they realized that people wanted O-rings. But that started in 2001. You had the Joe versus Cobra, then you had the Spy Troops, then you had the Valor versus Venom, which lasted through 2004. Still some comic packs. You had the three figure comic packs and all. And then about 2006 is when they went to direct to customer. You had they had like Low Light, the Night Viper, and some of those you could order straight from the website. The Spacer Ghost Rider took out the Displacer B. So anyway,
Who's on top?
that was what 2001 to 2006, 5 years. Then they come out with the 25th anniversary in 2007, and it hit it big. But by 2014, by the 50th anniversary, they were only available at Toys R Us. Toys R Us was the only chain that would even carry them.
Yep.
They quit carrying vehicles and went just to figures in the last few waves because they said the vehicles wasn't selling.
right.
So that was 7 years. So you're looking at 5 to 7 years, and now we're about to be in year 5 of classified. So I'm thinking we got maybe 2 years left until this fizzles, or they'll do straight direct to customer one of the two. And that may not last long if they do.
Touching
I
back
understand
on,
over in Europe they're doing that.
And I'm not
touching back on what
trying to
Adam
say
said there.
what's that.
Touching back on what Adam said there about preferring direct to customer, I think that's what's going to happen. But are we, the actual customer, going to be able to get the stuff we want?
Yeah.
There has to be we
Because imagine this. As hard as it is now to get certain things, exclusives, because of the scalpers, that's just going to fuel them even more.
Yeah.
Because they know we can't go to GameStop, we can't go to Walmart, we can't go to Target to get these things.
Mm-hmm.
see that's
So
the thing. There
just
has to
gonna
be a
fuel
new
them
mechanism.
more.
Yeah, there has to be a new mechanism to be
has to
able
be. They
to
have
be
to
able
fix
to
it.
pull this off. Here's the good news. I read a report today. Hasbro actually reported a profit in this second quarter, which is the first time that's happened for a very, very long time. But get this, I want to understand this. 60% of their revenue is from games and digital content. Right.
Mm.
Now, this article I read named 3 lines that were specifically successful. Right. Play-Doh was one of them. Yeah. G.I. Joe was on that list of 3 brands that did very well for Hasbro, according to this article. Right. The rest of them there was no mention. Marvel Legends, Star Wars, they were not. The other one was a preschool toy too. It was definitely G.I. Joe in that list of 3 that were profitable. We got to do. They got to do something about a club like Mattel used to do with DC Universe, where you know what, your Pulse membership has to change. Pulse membership needs to be I get a figure a month membership, right? And that's what you're getting. And there's a big one at the end of the year if you want to do exclusive. Even with the Mattel stuff, they still had the line going at the stores, but at least you could get it. But the way things are now, that needs to go away too. You know what? Give us a couple of figures a month. We're guaranteed to get them. That's what your membership is. And I'm sorry, but computer technology has come a long way since Mattel did that first membership drive. There is a way to limit these accounts. If they can say you can't have more than 5, then they can say you can't have more than 1 account.
All right.
Right? It should be that easy.
You'd think so.
Right about
Yeah,
that.
they definitely are. They definitely are, Adam. Yeah, McFarlane has shot himself right in the butt with this one.
DC is completely gone from the 2 local Walmarts around us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Completely gone, and the collector spots are so small now, it's not even worth going over there to look.
Nope. But
Mainly
you notice,
pops now.
the Toddfathers fishing this $100 a year membership just to get dibs on some of this stuff. You're not even guaranteed anything. Just give me an extra $100 a year, and you'll get points and all this other crap. It's like, nope, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a membership where it's a subscription, right? Isn't that what they used to call it, John? It was a subscription.
Yeah.
You got a figure a month. You would build $19.95 or whatever it was every month, and then you had the big one. That was 13 figures a year is what you were guaranteed to get with your membership.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't want 33 Joes in 4 months like what we got last year.
Yeah.
But you know what? If they said we're going to give you 26 figures a year, right? That's 2 a month plus 2, right? As a year-end thing or whatever. A couple of deluxes, throw in a couple of deluxes or 2-pack. I'd be all over that, and they could be writing their own checks, and Walmart and Target and all the rest of them can go pound sand. Because I'm sorry, all they do is feed the scalpers too.
Yep.
They just do. So now, as a seller, I don't fault Walmart and Target as much because they're not going to. Somebody walks up with 5 figures, they're not going to go, "Hey, are you buying those?" It's none of your business.
Exactly.
But when their employees are taking them out of the stockroom to put them on eBay before they even see the pegs. I do, because that happens a lot. Or they're calling their buddy to come pick them up for them.
And then holding them in the back for them to get there.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm sorry, guys. I know we talk about the hunt and how much fun it is and everything else, but you know what? I still need to part and piece out and get things and everything else from my OG stuff. That's hunt enough for me. I don't need the stress on this new stuff anymore because... Yeah. Look at what I'm using it as an example. We opened up with John talking about the ferret. That's a tremendous amount of frustration on that man's part. I know Shane's in the same boat. They just were not able to get one. That's not acceptable for. It's just not. That's really terrible business model, where half the people that want something from you don't get it, and you just go, oh well, onward and upward.
Here's the thing with the whole Pulse membership. You got your members that get an hour head start.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly.
All right. You drop your stuff at 11 o'clock. Most people are working 11 o'clock.
Yep.
And can't just drop what they're doing to go get on Hasbro Pulse and order what they want.
But
then it's free fall for everyone. an hour later. An hour later, people are still working.
Yeah.
The people that's now getting the hour later deal is still the same people that got the hour before, the Pulse members.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something like that where the Pulse members gets an hour shot, don't let them be able to buy in the next hour. You prevent non-Pulse members from being able to buy in the first hour. So you can obviously prevent Pulse members from being able to buy in the second hour. That's just my thoughts on that one. Because, like I said, the people buying in the second hour are the same people that bought in the first hour. They're just using a different account. They don't care about the mailing address.
No, I don't know.
That's how these people set up these bots. They have all these different email addresses,
Right?
different little names on there. They don't check the names. Do they get your social security number? Nope. They just
I wouldn't give it to them anyways.
Exactly. You just get an email address, a name, and a physical address.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can send one to your mama, you can send one to your daddy, you can send one to your grandma, grandpa's, on down.
PO boxes.
Yeah, I mean, you could have 4 or 5 different PO boxes.
You could, but you could take a guy, buys the membership to get early access and has 10 different accounts, $50 a piece. That's $500 on membership. But if they order 5 of each, like with a ferret, they order 5 each ferret and they sell them for $100. But they sell 1 from each account and they done made their money, the membership back, and the other 4 is just all profit for 10 accounts. So you're looking at $4,000 profit. Did I do my math right?
I don't know.
$50 times 40, that would be 2,000 or 200. I don't know. I can't add to that. It's been a long weekend.
It sure has. That's one in the next comment. This was exactly, Mason. This is exactly what John was talking about with the history of these particular lines.
While they die.
They die. And to be perfectly honest with you, they die prematurely. So right now, you're absolutely right. Why would Hasbro change anything? Because it's working for them right now. The problem is it's that thinking that's shaving off 5 or 6 years from the life of the line, especially now that we really genuinely have crossed over into that threshold where before toy lines were generational, right? You had a kid that was 5 to 7 years old. He's going to have a line until he hit 12 or 13, and then it would naturally die because that customer base moved on. He discovered girls or skateboards or dirt bikes or whatever it was right? That is a non-factor anymore because you know what? All of us sitting right here have already discovered girls and dirt bikes and skateboards and all of the other things that, right? We already did that. We're back here by choice. We're not just here by nature like a young kid is. We're here by choice. So I think this is the difference. And this is where that old thinking and they're not understanding their customer base comes in because this level of frustration is going to shave a number of years prematurely off of the classified line. Kids are not buying the classified line, right? We're all adults. And let's face it, this is the golden age of toy collecting. We have so many options out there right now, not to mention the fact we can all fall back on the OG stuff again if we wanted to. We don't have to have the classified line.
No.
We can move on relatively quickly and get our fix someplace else, right?
Hasbro is always shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the retro line they come out with. It was doing really, really well. You had all the figures coming out, the vehicles coming out, got that nostalgia feel, and then what they do? They drop classified. When that happened, they shot themselves in the foot. Knocked the retro line completely out of even being seen again.
Oh, yeah.
And they do that all the time. All the time. And the only reason the retro carded classified is going out is because of the 6-inch style. That's it. If they tried to reintroduce the retro style again, It wouldn't take off. It would just like fall again.
And that's why most of your buyers of toys are adults, because 6-inch scale means more detail, which makes kids don't care about detail. They want something they can play with. Something small with a small vehicle they can put in, they can play with.
Yep.
That just proves the fact that kids aren't buying the toys anymore, because now everything's shifted. The Marvel Legends, they kind of died out right after Hasbro bought them. They kind of killed the Marvel Legends right off the bat. They only had a few waves come out, and then it kind of died off. And they shifted to 3 3/4 inch, the Marvel Universe, and they put out a ton of those. And the next thing you know, they relaunched Marvel Legends. Well, those 3 3/4, guess what? They're gone. They quit making them.
Yeah.
And some of those were going for over $100 because they were like the Vision. He was hard to find, you know. Yeah. And then they've gone back, and now they've gone out. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. It's amazing the number of Marvel Legends they put out since 2012 when it relaunched. I mean, we're going on 12 years now, and there's probably I'd have to go back and look it up, but it's well over a couple of thousand figures, and they're just churning them out. You said they wasn't on the list of the top 3 brands that made money because they're dependent on Marvel Legends and Star Wars or especially Marvel Legends, to make money off quantity. Is what they're doing. They're just pumping out so many because that's why you see so many of them end up at all these places, because they're pumping out so many. Right. They're getting the sales out there, and it's almost impossible to keep up with Marvel Legends. If you was trying to collect all of them, there's no way. There's no way you'd be able to keep up with all them. I mean, we think the classifieds are dropping a lot, but that's nothing compared to what Marvel Legends is doing.
No.
And it's not even in their top 3 brands.
No, it's not. I mean, like Mason just said, you're right. In their eyes, they can move on to the next thing. Here's the problem with, and this is unique. This is actually 100% unique to G.I. Joe. Hasbro owns G.I. Joe. Mm-hmm. They're not paying licensing to anybody. I can't, if you guys can help me, by all means, I can't think of another single property that can be said about in the toy business that other Barbie is the only other one that Mattel owns, flat out owns Barbie.
With Lego, because Lego is its own business.
Yeah, but Lego is those companies. Lego is in this weird position where Disney and everybody else goes to Lego and begs them to make their product. Exactly. Lego's not calling up Disney going, "Hey, we really want to make Marvel," and then Disney goes, 40%. Nope. Disney is calling Lego going, "Would you please make some more sets?" And Lego goes, "I'll think about it." Click. Right? Because Lego is that unique. Yeah, My Little Pony. What do you do that for? Can Shane erase that comment? He's going to regret having said that. I'm sorry, but people are going to see that.
For some reason, that comment, I just popped in my head him riding a little pony.
I don't see Mason riding.
And I can't get it out of my head now.
But did you look? You see, Hasbro has been paying money to Saban for the Power Rangers license for years. What did they just do? They farmed it out to Playmates.
Yep.
Right? Because they go, we can't do this anymore. They said it. They just flat out said, we can't make any money. We can't make any money with the licensing on Power Rangers. So we'll farm it out. So we'll make 50% off it. We still got to give Saban 10%. We'll make money off the licensing. We don't want to mess with it anymore. Now, guess what? Walmart and the rest of them don't want nothing to do with Power Rangers anymore. So I'm sorry, Playmates really kind of took it out into that deal. But it's a different game, and I'm going to say something, and we've had this conversation. What in the world does the marketing director for G.I. Joe even do? There's no magazine ads, there's no TV ads, there's no nothing. What marketing used to be. I'm sorry, but if you want somebody to market to, what are we? Let's 45 to 60-year-old males, right? Is that the window? You want somebody to market that? You don't need pink-haired little girls trying to get us to give her pronouns. You know what I mean? Lenny would be better at marketing the G.I. Joe line than Emily is. Right? But that, whatever. But you notice it was Power Rangers that she was in charge of, too. She had Power Rangers and she had the Joe line, and now the Power Rangers have been farmed out. So, well, you know.
Hasbro's last pulse on their Facebook page was 3 days ago. And it was a Funko Pop Monopoly. Figure of Mr. whatever his name, Moneyworth.
Yeah.
Oh, Pennyworth.
Yeah, that guy. Pennywise.
Or Pennywise. Yeah, Pennywise.
Pennywise the Clown. Moneybanks.
There should be a Pulse fan stream. There should be a Pulse fan stream once a month for every line, right? You get one once a week. If you're Marvel Legends, Star Wars, Transformers, and Joe, they should each have one for once a month, right? We don't need new news, but at least you could tell us where the process is on some of these name-only reveals and things like that, right? But 6 weeks, 2 months, and most of the time you just get strung along again. So. Whatever. I don't know. I would rather have direct consumer and have a subscription service. That's just me.
Moneybags.
Moneybags. Yeah.
There you go.
Moneybags.
Mr. Moneybags. Yep. So that was fun.
Going back to the subscription though, the Pulse membership. You know, Mattel on Masters Universe Classics, when they would drop the figures, the people that had subscriptions, if I remember right, they had a shot at getting additional figures if they wanted to, and I think they dropped them, and the subscribers had 24 hours to order before it went to everybody else. If Hasbro would just do that, because 1 hour is not enough. Like Shane said, if you do it in the middle of the day and everybody's at work, nobody's going to get them.
Yeah,
give us a 24-hour period and make sure you put out enough that not only the members can get it, but then there's some left over for the ones after too. But I don't know.
Or start dropping them later in the day. Start dropping them at 4 or 5 o'clock. I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah,
a couple hours.
I mean, you know, if we can't get in there and get them ordered and they sell out before we order them, at least they could do is, you know, send us some patches or something to make up for it. make us feel better about it.
I like the 24-hour thing for people, you know, work night shift and stuff like that. I like that.
So that's where the other Kickstarters are the other fun. What do you call it? Crowdfunding. They're not offering patches with their stuff. That's why they're not getting funded.
It's true.
You got to put them patches in there, man.
The patches are definitely what's doing it. Where is that right now, anyways?
They ain't even hit the second tier yet.
See,
13,932.
And the next tier is what?
14,000.
And
that's somebody said it was getting like 50 a day or something.
Yeah, see, it's a lot different now, guys. It really is.
It'll hit. It will hit, but
I think so.
It's going to take all the complete time.
Yeah. Oh, it'll make it them last few days, but
yeah. And talking about getting these exclusive stuff, like I was telling Shane on the way to Collector Con, if I don't get that Cobra Commander once a man, I probably wouldn't even collect the Cobra Law line.
No,
right? I mean, why would you?
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you don't collect the line, you can pretend like you don't have a hole in it. Right, you don't have a hole in the collection if you just don't collect that line. So to kick off multiple figures from Cobra Lao, this one was a real mistake because, I said the same thing. No one's going to do the Cobra Lao thing if they don't get that once a man. Just that's the way it is.
It's crazy to me.
Hey, let's change subject without changing subjects. We spend a considerable amount of time going after the manufacturers, Hasbro, McFarlane, and everything else. Because let's face it, they just tick us off, right? They do. They do frustrating things. Their marketing sucks. Their supply chain is hopelessly screwed up. Pulse members have got an hour head start getting to an app that does not work. And a website that's at least 10 minutes behind an app that does not work. So yeah, there's some issues. But I wanted to talk about something else, and I was going to talk about it anyways, but Shane and I had to talk yesterday, and it made me really look at it. And then I read an article today. Let me, as a disclaimer, in all seriousness, Larry Hammer and I are not besties. I wouldn't even say we're friends, right?
What?
I know.
I'm shocked.
It's terrible, but it is true. I mean, I cry quite frequently over it, but it's just the way it is.
I've been living a lie.
You actually have, and I fed it. I fed it. Look, I don't.
I've told so many people.
I've talked to the guy a couple of times, and I've had a good time, and that's it. He doesn't, he needs to be reminded of who I am every once in a while.
He remembers Shane, though.
Yeah, that's good. See, maybe you're his bestie. So look, I don't owe the man.
Shane.
I'm not into Larry Hama for anything other than appreciating 40 plus years of entertainment and cool, corny, yuck it up G.I. Joe stories, right? Because let's face it, this is not Shakespeare, right? This is not Tolstoy. It's G.I. Joe. So let's be serious. But with that being said, the Kickstarter for Werewolves versus Mounties, or Mounties versus Werewolves, whichever it was, did start up on Wednesday. And from what Shane told me, it was an S-storm almost instantly with all of these little trolls wanting to know why multi-billionaire, because everybody knows it's Bezos and Gates and Hama, right? They're right up there with Trump as far as how much money they've got. And why it is that he needs to go to Kickstarter to try to get a bunch of money because, like I said, that palatial palace that he lives in Queens should be enough, right? So Kickstarter, it was bad enough, and I wasn't really paying much attention. I backed the project first thing Wednesday or Thursday, whichever day it was, walked away, because I got things to do. And Kickstarter sends out emails every day as updates, how the project's going, or whatever. Well, I should have known something was up, because the fourth, and I didn't read it before I talked to Shane yesterday, was a statement from Larry Hama on the Kickstarter page, which this is what Mr. Hama had to say. And apparently he posted this on Facebook. I don't get a cent from the vast majority of G.I. Joe reprints, nor do I get anything from all the Wolverine material that has been reprinted in 17 countries outside of the USA. So this is from Bleeding Cool, Rich Johnston. It's true, and that included the recent G.I. Joe compendium that Skybound put on Kickstarter, reprinting Larry Hama's 80s Marvel Comics work, creating the franchise, and raising $3.8 million in the process. As part of the license with Hasbro, neither Skybound or Hasbro, neither paid Larry Hama for the reprints of his work, which are owned by Hasbro. Okay, now this is where Skybound redeems itself. Okay, So stay with me. This is why Skybound hired Larry Hama to sign limited edition book plates as part of the Kickstarter, hired donor pledges, so that part of the Kickstarter, so that Larry Hama would at least get a share of that money. I guarantee you it wasn't a whole lot. It is also why Skybound has hired Larry Hama to continue the G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero series, continuing the Marvel IDW line in continuity, which Larry gets work for hire payments. talk to anybody in the comic industry. They will tell you that they never made any money at the height of comics in the 80s and in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Now they're talking about page wage being less than 10% of what it used to be. So Larry Hama is still not making a ton of money off comics. Okay. But it's still not great for Larry Hama, who, along with other Marvel creators, only gets quote-unquote incentive payments on reprints of work published in the USA. Licensing those rights to other countries does nothing for the original creators, something brought to light a few years ago when Brian Hitch was declining to sign the Hatchet hardcover UK reprints of Ultimates and the like. So what is Larry Hama to do? Sell more sketches? This is what we talked about this before. Quote, I have macular degeneration. I will probably be incapable of drawing within the next few years. So if you want a sketch, better act soon. Although my arthritis may make everything moot before then, I have no ligaments left in my basal thumb joints. It's just bone scraping against bone there. Drawing is actually quite painful, but not as painful as signing my signature. Though he also added, I am getting bombarded with commission requests. I don't do commissions through the mail. I do pencil sketches, but only at cons. Mm-hmm. If you guys want to go back and look at the interview that I did with the man a couple of weeks ago, the fact of the matter is I had already read these comments that he had made about his hands being messed up. And if you'll notice, I'm staring at his hands. He kept his hands down at his side during the interview, other than shaking my hand and talking with his hands like I have a bad habit of doing. If you actually took a minute and looked at the man's hands, you'd see right off the bat that they're pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's why I refuse to take his autographs for free.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, the man will give you 2 personalized autographs for free.
Yep.
I refuse to do that.
Yep.
I will pay him every time for his autograph. And I have. And I will continue to do that. Because the man makes money off of his name. And like Dave said earlier, he created our childhood.
Yeah.
I mean, us that collect G.I. Joe and Wolverine, Deadpool, Marvel, all that stuff, he had a hand in all of that. And even on the new Deadpool Wolverine movie, if you'll look at the end credits, they give credit to people that created Wolverine. Larry Hama is not one of them. He is being kicked out of everything, it seems like. Because he don't kiss their butt.
And I've heard people say that he's got a bad attitude. And I have to tell you that he's rude to people. I have seen Larry Hama be rude to 3 different people on 3 separate occasions. And I have to be perfectly honest with you. All 3 of them freaking deserved it. Right?
Yep.
Don't like that? Too bad. He's not there to cater to you. He's a 75-year-old man that's been crapped on most of his professional career because he decided to do a toy book in 1982 that no one else would touch with a 10-foot pole, but he wanted to feed his wife and daughter.
Right.
Like I said, it's not Tolstoy. This is not Shakespeare. The G.I. Joe comic book is not. It's not Dark Knight Returns. It's not X-Men. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant to revolutionize the world. It wasn't meant to be political. Did he make political comments? Yep, because the man's entitled to his opinion. He served in Vietnam. If he wants to have an opinion about the military, it's more than fair to let him have one, right? But if you want him to go down in the annals of great political commentators, you ain't going to get anywhere near that either, because that's not who he is, right? Mm-hmm. This is not Watchmen. This is not Dark Knight Returns. Look, he made a statement at the end of this, and I want you to think about this. He made this statement. This project is one of the few projects that I actually own a piece of. I've been kicking this idea around, developing it, and adding to it for over 10 years. I would greatly appreciate getting as many shares of this online as possible. Thank you. It would mean a lot to me.
He's a sincere fella, man. I mean, you got to treat the guy with respect.
Did any of you guys watch that movie Batman and Me that came out a few years ago?
I did not.
You ought to check it out.
Yeah.
You ought to check it out. You don't even have to be a Batman fan. You ought to check it out. And you watch that movie and you see what happened to, no, it's Bill Finger. I'll say it. It's Bill Finger's story. You know who Bill Finger was? Bill Finger was the co-creator. He was co-creator of Batman. He created the Joker. He created Robin. He created Commissioner Gordon. He created Catwoman, Penguin, Riddler. Bill Finger died in an apartment in New York City. And it was weeks, if not months, before somebody discovered him. Bob Kane was running around doing the Hollywood stuff, running his mouth about being Batman's creator and deciding he was going to be all political and claim that Bruce Wayne was actually, in fact, gay, which he recanted years later because he was a showman. He just wanted the attention and he had to stir the pot. So everybody loved Bob Kane, but Bill Finger died destitute in a crappy little apartment, and he was buried in a potter's field outside of New York City. Once that movie came out, fans were disgusted with Warner Brother in DC, disgusted with how they had treated that man. And they raised the money and they had him exhumed and they had him in a real grave with a real headstone that says co-creator of Batman on it. You know what? Stan Lee was a great guy. Stan Lee's the only one that ever made any money off comic books. None of them are rich. If you make that mistake, you're a fool. You don't know nothing about the industry at all if you think these people are rich. You're out of your mind. There's been some... Todd McFarlane, he made a lot of money, but he made a lot of money off starting lineup. He didn't make a lot of money. He went bankrupt too. He didn't make any money off of his art. He got paid his page count, or he got paid for his cover, and then he went about his business too, just like the rest of them. Jack Kirby was not a... Neil Adams... None of these guys. Norm Brayfogle. I don't care who you come up with. Jim Aparo, all of the greats, the Bushimas, right? Kubert, all of them. Kubert ended up, he made money because he opened an art school, right? So you know what? We talk about a lot of different things, and I'm sorry I'm on my soapbox because I have to be perfectly honest with you. I'm tired of watching an entire generation of people that built us, right? Because let's face it, these stories help make us who we are. So in a lot of ways, these people built us. I'm sick and tired of them having nothing. These heroes and these characters and everything else either wouldn't have gotten off the ground to begin with or would have died off decades ago.
Oh yeah.
So you know what? You want to be a little basement troll and whine and complain that Larry Hama's, got his Bentley parked out back of the con and he dares ask for $20 for a signature. You can go pound sand. How's that? Because you're not a real fan and you have no appreciation for anything that came before you other than what's about to pop out of your own stupid mouth. So here's the deal. If you can, and this is not a guilt trip because I know there's people listening to this right now that can't. What do we get? Less than 100 people watch us every week, right? If we could get even a small percentage of you to go to the Kickstarter campaign, you can search Larry Hama. It pops right up there. It's $25. If you don't have $25, you can donate without reward, which means you want to give the man $5 or $10. I can tell you right now, for him to come out and say, if you just share it, it would be greatly appreciated. Do something for the man. I'm serious. Do something for the man. If you're a fan of G.I. Joe, you owe him. Those file cards. What is it, John? 90% of them, 95% of those file cards were written by Larry Hama.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I bet you money he wasn't getting page count for that. That was probably just part of the deal for writing the book for Marvel. So if you ever picked the file card as a kid and learned a new word, because I bet you did, you owe Larry something. Right? I'm sorry, but you do. Yeah, the guys, Schuster and the other
Siegel.
family, Siegel, they own Superman again. They sued, and it took them decades. But you look at the copyrights now on there. Superman is used by permission by those families because they own Superman again.
Yep.
And that was their original IP, which was cool. Larry Hama couldn't do that with Hasbro because G.I. Joe was already a property that existed, and they, like the guys came with them with concepts of the characters. So they came with him with Grunt and said, okay, this is our standard infantryman. And he made up a story. And Starlet and Stalker and Rock and Roll, he made up those stories. And did he have a hand in some of their designs? Sure. But Ron Rudat did most of that. Ron Rudat is not a rich man either, by the way. So you can, Warner Brothers fought them tooth and nail. They fought them tooth and nail. And it's all about money. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to go ranting and raving and everything else. But like I said, I'm not Larry Hama's best friend. But I do personally feel that I owe him because that book ran for 12 years. The cartoon was on for 2. Right? Let's get real. You want to compare apples to oranges, the cartoon guys and the comic guys. There's no comparison between the cartoon and the comic. Not to mention the fact the comic is still running.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still be written by that man. So go support the Kickstarter. I don't care if you give him 50 cents. I don't care. At least you can say thank you, Mr. Hama.
Yep.
Because I guarantee you, at 75 with macular degeneration and arthritis, Larry Hama is not looking to make another career out of this book. I swear this is a thing where he's just going, can I get some affirmation for something other than G.I. Joe? Right? Give it to him. Food forest permaculture. What the heck is that?
Greeting Earthlings. I thought it was one of Corey's friends.
Speak for yourself. What is that anyway?
Lettuce, salad.
Permaculture? That's interesting. I'm curious what that is. Anyways,
Dave can't get a perm, so
no, I cannot get a perm. If I ignored the hair coming out of my ears, I might be able to. It's just migrated. No, they're not, Phil.
Yeah.
No, they're not. That's the point. They're not. They're not. They're making a lot of money off that book. It's not selling as well as like Scarlet and Destro and the Duke book did in Cobra Commander. It's selling relatively well, but no, the page count is way down. What they get paid per page is way down.
I think it's like 2% per page, something like that, off the total profit.
Yeah, and that like and the artists are even worse because if you look at Mooneyham had to leave the book to go work a few issues at DC. Yeah. He's coming back on at issue 11, but the artists are even getting hosed. So no, he's not getting a decent payday. He's not. I'm sorry, but it did my heart good to see him as busy as he was at FarleyCon because he deserves it. So if you can, go support it. And you know what? If you can't, go leave a comment thanking the man. You know what? And if you don't want to take a chance on him being rude to you at a con, then don't be an idiot. How's that? And I guarantee you he won't be.
Exactly.
So, that's what.
Yeah. the art follows right along with the dialect. So it's pretty much got to be there. Unless you do a silent issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a storm shadow.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, I'm sorry. That's my rant. Like I said, I am actually not, in fact, best friends with the man. I don't get any royalties. I don't get any liberties. I don't get nothing. I will get no consideration for him when I see him again. He'll go, "Oh, you're the guy that told the 5 people all about." Nope, that's not going to happen. No, it's just not. So, if you can, you know what? If you have an opportunity to help any of these guys, do it. Except for Todd McFarlane.
You don't like Todd.
Yeah, he got Todd himself.
He ticking me off. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know. The new thing with him is, let's change gears again. The new thing with him is, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but we were getting extra heads, right? If we wanted a different figures were coming with multiple heads.
Mm-hmm.
His new design is the face comes off of the head, and you can click different faces onto the same head. So people were going, yay! But if you actually look at it, you go, no, because it's just like the faces aren't great. The sculpting on it is just not even close to the same as a complete head. So he just making everybody mad.
Yeah, he stole that from Metacom.
Yep. And all you get is trading cards with his figures. You don't get no patches or anything.
Or you get
So that's
digital
my
figures.
That's my rant. Go support Larry Hama. How's that?
Well, hey, we an hour in. We ain't even talked about the con yesterday.
No, well, good. Now we can go back to being happy and let's talk about the con. There was when was there a con?
There was a con? I don't remember it.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, the con was to get Corey to buy toys he didn't need. We succeeded.
Oh, I needed him, brother.
Oh, jeez. I still want to. I want to know what permaculture is. I don't know what the deal is with it. Oh, look at that! Look at them handsome devils right there. Look at that.
So
nice.
We can talk.
I have no idea what we were doing there, but
I don't know. Shane looks like a giant all of a sudden. Look at a fisheye lens on that thing.
All looking at something, obviously. Anyway, the Gaston Con was this weekend.
Yes.
And it was a really, really good turnout. John, we talked to the girl at the front door, and she said she figured how many people come through.
Well, she said they had 2 bags of bands. There was 800 bands per bag, and they used up 1 bag and had just a handful left in the other. She guesstimated, I think she said probably about 1,300, but I don't know. They didn't look like there was that many bands in the bag. You talking about 1,600 bands total, so I'm thinking they probably close to 1,400, 1,500 people.
Awesome.
Those numbers were closer.
That by far exceeded what I was expecting for Gadsden. I was amazed.
Yeah, wildly successful. Yes,
in such a short period of time too.
There was one point that I walked outside, and this is an old Walmart, for those that don't know where this was. Kmart, yeah. And it's a pretty big building.
It is.
And the line was all the way down to the end of it. So, I mean, there was a lot of people there. The first 3 hours was bumping elbows, and backs, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was great. Met a lot of our members there that we hadn't met. Gained a bunch of members that were there that was like, hey, mind if I join? Nah, sure. That's what we're here for. So we got some pictures to show, and we'll just talk about these guys. A few things. And there's our resident Rick and Chris and his daughter Sharky. He made the drive. He just had back surgery, so he made it down there.
We get RoboCop.
Yeah, he got him a RoboCop, and I think Sharky got her. What?
I think that was Alex Murphy he got.
Maybe.
It's pre-RoboCop.
Pre-RoboCop, right?
Yeah.
So there's John and 6'7", Mason Rule. Funny little story about Mason. He walks up to me and taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, Shane." And I turn around and I look, and I'm looking at his belly button. And I think I got a crick in my neck as I went on up to see his eyes. Not used to looking up to most guys.
He come up to me. I'm sitting down. I have to do this to see his face.
Yeah, he's a tall man. That's for sure.
And his kids was his boys and his daughter also are they got the height.
Yep.
That just proves the rumor's false right there. They say if you stand by a tall, skinny guy to make you look slimmer, it don't. It didn't help me one bit.
Yeah.
I'm looking for your ring from Lord of the Rings.
The camera adds 10 pounds and 6 inches, apparently. So.
Yeah.
That's our buddy Gage and his kids. There's Adam, myself, John, Corey, Jeremy, and Mushel hanging out there with us. And Travis and myself and John. I didn't get this guy's name, John. You know him.
That's Jeremy. Jeremy Wallace. Yeah. He's in the group.
Member. There's us and Phillip. There's Jeremy again with some of his dioramas that he made.
Well, I like the cabin.
The cabin. I loved it. All I could see is Dreadnought sitting all on the front porch, hanging off with a couple of alligators there. It's pretty cool. Met his wife also, and she's a character. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of setup at John's table. And John did really well. I gotta say, he did really well at the show.
Well, I sold a lot of Hot Wheels.
I think then Marshall done really well. And I didn't know this gentleman either.
That's Crow from Phoenix Rising, the comic book store over in the town.
Okay.
What time did he get there?
I don't know. They got there, I guess, right after we did because they got set up pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing him early there, but I never get a chance to speak with him. So there's John and Marshall, and there's Adam. He's holding his Beetlejuice. Yeah, Corey's going to grapple about. There's Silas and Marshall.
Yeah.
He fooled me. He switched up from Storm Shadow to Snake Eyes. There's Jonathan Wolf and one of our new members, Andrew Alexander.
Yeah.
He was a dealer there, and we got to talking, and he joined up with us. Really good guy. Talked to him several times. I'd like to go back and check on people that we knew and see how they were doing and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a lot of vintage Joe stuff.
Yeah.
Me and him done some trading. He gave me some good deals.
He's enjoying a headless too.
Yeah. There's us with Aaron Waldrop.
Yeah.
John and Dave. There's Jared Humphreys. This guy just joined a couple of weeks, like a week ago. Billy Holland. Met him and his wife there. There's Phil and John looking at the multiple Hot Wheels that Marshall sold.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, you're welcome anytime. Food forest permaculture. I'm still very curious about that. But yeah, thank you for joining in. You're welcome anytime. Hopefully you'll watch the rest of it. Listening to us ranting and raving about stuff.
Yeah. And this is just a shot of the room, which there was a hallway down the side to the left there that was full too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of stuff. That's a back shot there of where you just saw the front. This is the back side. I think the next one is a video that we got from Phil. No, maybe not. But there's a video coming up, I promise.
They did a fantastic job with this space, though.
They did.
For an old retail, it was really impressive.
They did.
The venue is very nice, actually.
It is very nice.
The pictures don't do it justice. About 11:30, it was pretty much standing room cattle only.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
it was
barely.
You literally, if you was walking down to looking down one side, you could not switch over to the other side to look down. There's Adam with his dioramas. I'll say it again. We have in our group the two best diorama builders in the state of Alabama. They do fantastic work, and I'll push their product all day long.
It's cool.
And here's a video. This is gives you a little bit better view of the place.
Oh, look, I'm griping about something else. Look at that.
Not Dave. But, I mean, it's a fairly large area, and they did a really good job getting it all together.
Good, my wife.
There's Amy and Nancy. Amy is Dave's wife there. And this last picture is a big thank you to this lady right here.
Yep.
She took all the pictures. She brought all the snacks. She kept us fed and hydrated. So big thanks to Nancy for doing all that stuff for us.
Yeah, great job, Nancy.
She does a great job.
I'm bad with names, but you never forget a woman that offers you a sandwich. I will always remember Nancy's name.
That's true.
And George.
And of course, that's Mr. George Jungle. She's got Holden with her there. Let me add that back so you can see George.
Yep. We missed a few. I know Chad Ford was there.
Yes.
I talked to him briefly, and I didn't get to talk to him. Jonathan Bailey, he was set up. If you seen that picture, Adam, I don't know if that was him behind. You could see in the background, but
let me see if I can get back to that.
Kind of right behind where Adam was against that wall was where Jonathan was set up at.
I think it was a little further to the right, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it was somewhere right back in there against that wall. This picture was taken before a lot of people got in there, so he hadn't got there to start setting up yet. I think that empty spot back there was his. But we didn't. Nancy.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah, she tried to get pictures of everybody, but she missed some, and there was I think a few others there that we missed too that was in the group, but quite a few. That's the most people from the Alabama Toy Mercs that I've seen in one spot.
And there were several of you that were there that we didn't get to meet. Sorry if we didn't recognize you or anything, but we do apologize, or I do anyway. I tried to fill out. I put out a little post asking who all was going to be there because I like to meet people. I like to see the guys we interact with. I know Blaze McKinney was there, I believe was his name. Didn't get to meet him. I do think I did see him, but I didn't realize who it was. But they're going to do another show in February 5th, and it's going to be bigger and better. So if you guys didn't get to go there this time, I suggest getting there the next time.
Same venue, just a different space there, or
they're going to be in the other side.
They're going to be, from what I understand, they're renting the middle and the same side they were on. It's from what
he said. He told me that there was 40 spaces for 40 vendors in the room that they had. Yeah. He said that other room, there's space for 100 vendors. So it's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And he'll probably fill them all up, too, because there was a long waiting list of people wanted in on this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, Adam's making a good point here. If it can hold 100, he might want to back it off to 80 because it was pretty crowded.
There was, to be honest, there was a lot of space in between.
Yeah.
A lot of walking space. You had a good 6 foot just in between, but there was a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
which is not a bad thing to have.
What I recommended to him was to use that hallway for the guests next time.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I do know that some of the guys he had there that was signing, like the one guy from there was a ball player there. I can't even remember who it was now, but
Mark
they said
Spears.
his line for signing was kind of in the way of some of the vendors' booths because they were people were lined up down there and people couldn't get to a couple of the booths up there for a little while. And if they put it over in the hallway, put all the guests, you put guests on both sides down that hallway because they don't take that much space to have just a table there to sit at. Then you can have that going on there, and then have the big room with all the vendors and stuff. I think it'll work real well, and he's got a lot of good plans for next time.
Oh,
I think it's going to be, and like I said, I mean, gosh, they put this thing together in about 3 months' time.
Oh, did a fantastic job.
Yeah, so
absolutely fantastic.
And everything's a learning experience, so we learn.
Oh yeah. And, no, there's no criticism. It's just a suggestion because they did a fantastic job.
And with the
I will say this: my daughter and son-in-law brought the littles, the two little grandsons, 5 and 3, and almost 6 and 4, literally in September and October, are their birthdays. So their last name is Wolf too. So when they were at Jonathan's booth, he had these little blind box transformers, and the little one, my littlest Rory, he's 3, be 4. Actually, he's 4 next month. He decided he wanted one of those because Mima gave him each some money to spend because they'd never been to a show before, and it was actually very cool to have him there. Anyways, so his dad said something about do we get the family discount because their last name is Wolf too, and Jonathan sold him that, took a couple of bucks off of that transformer so the little guy could buy it with the money that Mima gave him. So you know what, Jonathan's a good guy. If you can give him your business, you should, because he's a good guy, and did a great job putting the show together. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Shane. I wanted to do that before I forgot.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I wasn't, to be clear, I wasn't standing there. He has absolutely no idea that they were related to me, so it wasn't some cheesy thing where he thought he was going to get a shout out on the on this worldwide broadcast that we've got going on here. It wasn't like that. It was just out of the goodness of him being a good guy. So
had he known they were related to Dave, he'd probably charged him $2 extra.
And he'd have been justified in doing it. Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Phil. It's a learning curve.
And having a lot of people is not a bad thing.
It's not. You just got to manage them,
because now he can take these numbers and he can go to people like Larry Hama, and he can say, "Look, this is my first year. I had 1,400 people come through the show. That's a draw. That's money that he could put in his pocket." So I mean, that's what these artists and stuff are looking for, and this is where they make the majority of their money, is at shows and cons.
Oh yeah,
signing your comic books that you bring. So I mean, that's good for them.
I'd be curious to see what I'd be curious to see what the Saturday numbers were for like FarleyCon, because to tell you the truth, FarleyCon wasn't that much bigger.
No,
than this event yesterday. It really wasn't.
And to be honest with you, I don't feel like there was as many people at FarleyCon as they were.
It didn't seem so, did it?
I don't think there was as many vendors.
I'm not sure there were as many vendors. The layout at FarleyCon was really weird because they got you doing this, this weird snake crew, and I don't know. Maybe that works better. I don't know. Maybe they know something about it. I don't know, but very cool. I mean, congratulations all the way around. It was a great thing. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's.
I like to say something. It's been a rough year for a lot of people in the group. As losing people. Yesterday was it's been a long time since I had a good time like that yesterday. I just want to thank everybody that showed up. I know.
You're
I
welcome.
think we
Things
needed
have
it.
been rough this year with people passing.
Oh yeah.
Done me some
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Yep,
It
we
was
needed
a great time.
Nancy said my wallet didn't need it, but I did. Yeah, my wallet never needed it.
On my wallet,
Hey, I
didn't
didn't
need it either.
Hey, I only bought 2 things yesterday. Everything else I got in trade. So
No, there you go. And I have to be honest with you, I didn't
Yeah.
buy anything at the show. So
All I bought was what Dave brought for me. And we are still, for those watching, we are planning a meetup for the group as a whole. We're just trying to figure out a time and a place that will be convenient for everyone to try to get to without driving 500 miles. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's hard.
Oh yeah, something centrally located, and maybe in the state, so that everybody can get there and not spend all day driving.
And if it's more than 15 minutes, I'm not going. So
yeah, so, I mean, we're meeting at Dave's house, so he can walk from the basement to the kitchen and cook.
Yeah. And then you ain't got no choice but to be there if we have it at your house.
That's right. Oh man!
But seriously,
No,
man,
it's
that's what it's about. Meeting our members for me is that's fun. It's great.
Yep.
Yep.
And no, never mind. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start taking notes on this trading up stuff and see if I can.
There ain't no
All
doubt
these
about it.
kids are going around doing this trading up, and they coming out with nice stuff, and I'm like,
See, that's Emmeett yesterday. Emmeett was the culprit yesterday. He and you guys remember. He comes wandering up with a box, right? The box was what? Pretty close to 2 by 2, wasn't it?
About a 2 by 2, yeah.
It's full of McDonald's toys, old McDonald's toys. And what did he trade for that?
He traded up to
he got a
Hulk Buster, wasn't it? No.
Well, no, it was a Hydra Stomper.
Hydra Stomper, yeah.
But I don't know how he got. See, this is the thing. He left all of his trade stuff. I don't know how in the world he got the box of McDonald's toys. I don't know how he did that.
Didn't he say the guy told
he's
him
yelling,
to take $10 for the whole thing?
He's yelling at me from upstairs. He goes, I had $10. It's like, yeah, okay. So he paid $10 for this box of stuff and then goes and trades it for this gigantic Marvel Legends thing, which was, he did very well yesterday. So
he's watching. Good night, Emmeett.
I was proud of him. Night, Emmeett.
Well, Mason's boys, they were doing it too, and they come out with some good stuff.
They started with something they bought for a penny.
Oh,
and
nice.
Traded up into a graded Frank Thomas rookie baseball card.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, they didn't do bad at all, neither.
That's pretty awesome. That's cool. Silas wasn't super serious yesterday. He wasn't on a tear like he usually is, so that's all right. He needs more stuff like he needs a hole in it.
He tried to talk me into a lot of different things. While he was
I believe that. Boy, do I believe that. He tried to talk me into a bunch of stuff yesterday too. So
he followed me around 2 loops there at one time. I didn't even know he was behind me, and I stopped, and he run into me. Thanks, Silas.
We told him on the way to the show. Look, you guys need to knock it off this time, and don't just try to include Marshall in what you got going on. And Silas was like, he can't wander around like we can. Like, no, Marshall's not quite as free range as you guys are, but just try to include him in what you're doing. So that was better, I hope, anyways.
Marshall was running the booth half the time.
He was supervising. He was doing a great job.
Yeah. He was supervising Corey.
Yeah.
Keeping Corey over there occupied.
Yeah.
Good kid.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. That's some good kids.
So, yeah. What else is new? Anything?
What did you get, Shane? You didn't buy nothing either.
I just got that Naga hide from Dave.
From Dave, but you didn't buy anything at the show, though, did you?
Mm-mm. Didn't nothing
He was
jump
looking at
out
one
of that.
thing.
He lived back there.
I stalked one thing for about 17 loops around the building, but that's
Mhm.
about it. But couldn't come to a price on the thing, so
I ended up getting, I did, like I said, I traded with gosh, my mind went blank now. Alexander?
yeah. Alex, I think it was
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah. And got some vintage stuff, some nice vintage stuff.
Oh, he has some really nice stuff too.
And what else did I even get? Oh, I got another Arctic bat to make my squad, and then I got and of course I got one of my bucket list things that I had on pre-order when it come out. Then I decided to get out of Marvel Legends and I canceled it. And then later on I decided to get back into Marvel Legends for like the 14th time, and so then I finally ended up getting this one, the Hellfire Club. So,
And that is not from Stranger Things.
right, this is the Marvel Legends Hellfire Club. Open it up there.
Now you can't find other troopers.
Yeah, I got to find the troop builders. I need to get Jason Wingard, and I need one more Black Queen so I can do one head with Jean Grey and one head with Selena. So
Cool.
But yeah, so it took some doing, but finally got it at a good price because this thing's, the White Queen and the Black Queen selling for around $125 a piece on eBay.
Oh wow.
So I mean, just the two of them, I done better buying this set than what it would have cost me just to buy the two of them by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Them two. So, and so I done good on that. I was happy with it. I'd been happier if I never canceled my pre-order and got it for the original $80 that it was to begin with. But that would have been nicer. But
Mm-hmm.
But I picked up. Of course, when I went to Wolf's Den, I got, of course, my Ghost Rider. That's my Displacer Beast that Shane. Shane found that for me and all this. That thing. I mean, who don't love a 6-legged panther with tentacles?
Yeah.
I mean, heck,
Mice.
yeah. Those Dungeons and Dragons line had some nice stuff in it. I mean, it's really good stuff. But the Ghost Rider, I got him doing the wheelie. I mean, you can do it sitting down with the flames. You got him popping the wheelie, which pretty neat. And I wish they would have done something like that with the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. Come out. I'll just lay him over.
You sleeping?
Down goes the beast.
Nap time, kitty. Good night, kitty.
The Ghost Rider has one.
What? I didn't have it on. I don't think. I don't. Okay. Anyhow, Nancy was talking to me. So yeah, and then I went to Wolf's Den. Of course, I done some trading. Got me a cartoon Webster. Like I said, I got the Ghost Rider there. I got caught up on the. So I had the Chun-Li. I got Ken. I got Bison.
Bison.
Yep. He's a bulk of a figure. I got I don't know how you pronounce their names. Ryu. And this one I hadn't got around to opening yet, but this one right here looks pretty cool. Dawson. He's got the extended legs and arms.
Indian version of Mr. Plastic.
Yeah.
Isn't Dawson like a shampoo or something?
Yeah.
The guy's bald and is named after shampoo.
There's one other figure that's out. I didn't pick him up because he wasn't part of the original G.I. Joe Street Fighter line.
Mm-hmm.
But I may, later on, I may get him anyhow since I got these. But that's mainly why I was getting these because, I was trying to, they go good with the 6-inch classified figures. And so you can kind of recreate the Street Fighter G.I. Joe line. You'd end up getting
you didn't get or whatever.
But this one,
rabbit hole.
Dave will like the other thing I picked up. It is. Oh, I didn't even realize there was a place on Bedford's now.
Oh, Scar, nice.
Scar. And
he played a good role in The Lion King.
He did actually. Yeah. Yeah. Made a great villain.
But here's what I like. Check this out.
He's nowhere near as big as his dad, too, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Simba was huge.
Yeah.
Yes, Simba was a pretty good sized cat. Yeah.
Get that head on there. I love this alternate head on it. Look at that.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like the wind blowing his hair.
The wind swept savage look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick definitely needs one of these because I bet he could get some really good pictures of these.
Yeah.
He looks like Fabio with the hair blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Super green.
But that's pretty cool. I didn't realize
He's
got a place to put his mouth.
He's standing next to his old man after a chilly dinner.
Part of his hair.
Hulk smash.
You say Hulk plagiated?
Smash it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a different kind of thunderclap right there.
Yeah.
Scar's a pretty cool character.
Thor just thought he was the god of thunder. He never was around the Hulk when he was eating baked beans.
Boy, we're going way back into the Toy Fair times now, aren't we? All the bathroom humor with the Hulk was always
Exactly.
You know what's funny? Oh, that's what I always loved. I don't know if you ever remember the original Saturday Night Live cast when they done the
yes,
superhero skit. You remember that?
yeah,
John
John
Belushi.
Belushi. Yeah, they had a dinner party, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a dinner party or something, and Lois Lane and Clark Kent and who was it? Come in there and said, "Hey, you notice you never see Batman or no, you never see Superman and Bruce Wayne in the same room together like." And then you had an Ant-Man come in and said, "What's your superpower? I can shrink to the size of an ant." Like what? But always what I always remember the most was Belushi as a Hulk.
Yeah.
And he come out of the bathroom and they were all like, "Woo, woo." He said, "Well, you expected to smell like roses?" That's classic.
That was awesome. That was an awesome show back then.
But anyway, I forgot where I was going after that. I
don't know. Yeah, Bill Murray was Superman in that skit. Yes.
Oh yeah, I was watching a video somebody did earlier on it was on Facebook, or it was it was a link was on Facebook. It was like of course it was computer generated, you could tell, but they had Superman and it looked like Christopher Reeves. They used his likeness. And it had the Hulk. He was fighting the Hulk, and the Hulk had Lou Ferrigno's likeness.
Yeah,
and,
I've seen that.
You seen it? Yeah, well, there's like a 10-minute video of them just beating each other to a pulp.
Yep.
And, it was funny because Superman, he was trying to get the Hulk into the outer atmosphere. He'd try to fly up, and every time he'd almost get to the outer atmosphere, the Hulk would, pound him or come to him, pound him or whatever. And then at one point, he just clapped, and that pushed him back down, Yeah. And I thought that was
It was well done.
Yeah, it was well done. I mean, to be a fan-made thing, that would be. I would love to see something like that. I would love to see a DC Marvel crossover, but I doubt it'll ever happen because Disney, and Warner Brothers probably never. Well, I don't know. They did it with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so you never know.
Well, yeah.
Yep. You never know.
True. It is true.
But,
it's funny, the old Saturday Night Live stuff. That was a running joke around my house for years. Just every time the door would knock or the doorbell would go off or something, I'd say Candygram. My wife would start laughing and just do it again. It's like flowers. I didn't order any flowers. Pizza. Oh man, that was great times. Those were great times. Those are great times.
Marvel Legends, Ferrigno.
Yeah, well, they've done the movie figures. They've done here recently. They've done some more like the Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman characters and all that. It would be cool if they went back and done like a Lou Ferrigno and maybe even a Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man too. That would be cool.
Nick Cage Ghost Rider.
That's been the talk lately. Is they were talking about this last strike, this Hollywood writer strike, where everybody was in a panic over AI, that's been a lot of discussions about that the heirs, the estates of a lot of these actors that have passed away, who never would have sold their likeness or their voice to the studios for AI to produce new content. Their heirs are. They're selling their likenesses and they're selling their voices. So now they're saying in the next few years, you'll start to see a lot more content of old movie stars that it's going to be all AI generated. So you know what? Anything's possible now, I suppose. If somebody gets offered enough money, I guess everybody's at least voice and likeness is for sale. You know, I mean, so it's kind of strange. It's kind of strange to think about the prospect of, you know, we used to say, "Oh, they'll never be able to reboot that because everybody's too old now." I mean, think about it. They could completely reboot the original Star Wars trilogy and have the original actors in it, because AI is that. I mean, it's getting that good. Yeah. If you got the money, and the studios certainly do. So it's just weird. It's just weird. Strange world. But yeah, some of that I've seen a few pieces of AI artwork that have used Christopher Reeve's likeness in Superman videos. The Flash, that really wasn't done very well, but it's kind of like that scene at the end where you see 66 Batman and you see Christopher Reeve, and Helen Slater was the Supergirl in the 80s. You know, it's an interesting thing what's going on, you know. I mean, we're all sitting here really missing Kevin Conroy's Batman voice acting, because he was just the perfect Batman voice. And, you know, his estate may end up selling his voice because AI can generate it. You wouldn't know that the man passed away a few years ago anymore. I mean, the computers can do it.
When I watched Rogue One, I was sitting there thinking, man, where did they get an actor that looked just like the guy that played Grand Moff Tarkin?
I know.
And then I found out it was, and then after I found out it was computer generated, then I went back and watched the movie again, and there was one place I could tell. You could tell one place.
Same with Princess Leia.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher wasn't as good, but it was still. And that was how many years ago was that?
Yeah.
You know, the technology has come. Look how this last Indiana Jones movie, I watched that. Man, they de-aged Harrison Ford, and it's pretty flawless.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you, Phil, but the fact of the matter is you know they're going to do it because that's the only place that there's any money anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
selling them member berries.
You know, that's where the money is. If you don't think, look at what we talk about. We talk about toys every week. That's where the money is. We're the ones with the money.
No, we're not.
No, we're the ones that had the money. Now I got some really cool stuff, but I ain't got no more money.
So, Corey, you want to show us what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go from least to greatest. Well, I picked him up because you know how I am. That's how the CIA tracks me with purchases of Hulk Hogan. Picked him up in a booth. I think he looks pretty good to be 31 years old. And I picked this one up here, Spiral from John. Which, I got one of the Katanas back there.
You bought that from John?
Yeah.
That's a Chinese bootleg. He didn't tell you that?
I also got this from John because I never picked him up.
Yep.
Adam said you bought that Hulk Hogan from his nephew.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I picked this up from somebody at the con, Superior, Spider-Man.
Cool.
And after the con, I fell into some hard times and some peer pressure. We went to the When we went to Wolf's Den, picked this guy up.
There you go. The start.
And he is worth everything.
Yep.
Like
That
I said,
is
he
the
blows
first
in the
step
dark.
on the escalator to bankruptcy right there.
That was the breaking point right there for me, and that's pretty much all I got from over there.
I give it a month, and Corey will have a moose.
Oh, month? No, I ain't gonna have a moose, but I'm gonna try to get the other 3.
Oh yeah, there you
In
go.
the 4 horse.
Yeah, you should
Oh,
see
you know
those.
you gotta get the moose.
It's pretty cool.
Well, you
That's
want
pretty cool.
you want the bear when it comes out anyway, right?
Well, yeah, I'll get that one too.
Because I told Wolf you did. I told him to get 4, one for me, you, and Shane and Dave. So he said he had 8 of them on order.
Hey, did he have the McFarland dark side over there yet? He hasn't gotten those, right?
I don't think he's gotten them
I don't
yet.
think anybody's gotten them yet. They were supposed to be out last month.
Get the moose.
Moose. I plan to steal Randy's eventually.
So, what do you think about the 4 horsemen? I mean, as far as details.
Beautiful. I even like the stitching on the leather on the saddle.
Oh yeah,
And that is beautiful. Only gripe I didn't have. He didn't have the other 3, and I didn't have enough money.
That would have been your gripe if you'd had the money that he had the other 3. So
their attention to detail is what to me puts them above everybody else.
Yep.
I mean,
This thing come with like 1,001 parts.
Oh yeah, and like when you can look at like their shields for their Mythic Legion figures, and you can see the rivets holding parts together, that's detail, man.
Oh, yeah.
And most other things you will not see that.
Well, they're very cool.
Well, I don't know.
What are the other 3, John?
What are the other 3?
Yeah, John's got them. What are the other 3? What are the other 3 horsemen?
Oh no, that's different. The Headless Horseman's not. It's totally separate from the Mythic Legions. It's put out by the Sun Company, but it's not part of that group.
Oh, it is. Okay, I thought it was.
The Mythic Legion 4 horsemen is a different brand than the Headless Horseman.
Oh, so they got a holiday thing going on with the other ones?
No,
because they do like they've done the Headless Horseman and then Father Christmas. See, they also have like the Cosmic Legions, which is a space theme.
Yeah, I knew
Mythic
that.
Legions, which is kind of Lord of the Rings theme, you know.
Figure obscure.
Figure obscure, huh?
Yeah.
What are the other 3 that go with that then? Father Christmas is one of them, right?
So are they holiday themed?
Yeah.
I mean, so they got a bunny on a horse, or?
Well, no, Santa, the Father Christmas doesn't come on a horse. He's
just Father Christmas.
Yeah.
He's the one that sold the moose because they showed the moose in the photo with Father Christmas to kind of sell Father Christmas, and they ended up selling all the moose.
Not holiday themed, just coincidence.
It's not. It's just they done Bob Marley from Christmas Carol. They done the Ghost of Bob Marley.
Jacob Marley?
Yeah, Jacob Marley. Bob Marley. Who's
Bob Marley's the reggae guy.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas Carol, man.
Come on.
I'm the figure man.
That's
I'm
him.
the ganja man.
Yeah, I think it's Krampus.
Christmas food make me work for Christmas, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Make me work Christmas Eve, man.
Krampus. I told you what Silas said to Krampus at FileyCon. You guys saw the Krampus. The guy that's like 8 feet tall, walking around on stilts and full on Krampus. And he'd said a few things to Silas, and Silas blew him off. And he was Silas said to me, "Who is that guy?" And I said, "That's Krampus." And about that time, the guy comes circling back around. And like I said, he's 2 feet taller than I am with the stilts and everything. He bent down and said some other creepy thing to Silas. And Silas said he's like a bad Santa Claus. He'll come if you're a bad boy. He'll come to your house on Christmas Eve and take your presents instead of leaving. Yeah. Silas looks right at the guy and he says, "You come to my house on Christmas Eve, you're gonna die."
Yeah.
Of course, there's a reason. Sent the South.
Oh yeah, the Monkey King.
And then he just did the 2 Egyptian gods, the dog-headed ones.
Yeah.
Osiris and
the woman version of it.
Oh, I can't remember her name. Osiris and
Cleopatra.
Isis.
No. Isis was one of them. Maybe it is Isis. Osiris. There were 3. They had a weird trilogy too. There was Osiris, who was the god of the dead, and then Isis, who was like queen of the gods, and then there was another one. What was the other Egyptian? Ra. Thank you. Yep. Ra. Yep. Hey, interesting. Ra. Monkey King, Chinese. That's interesting.
Ra. Oh,
nice.
They made Ra on Christmas Eve.
Oh, jeez.
That's Lady Gaga, wouldn't it? Ra.
Yeah, I think so.
You got Sis Boom Ba. The sound the sheep makes when it explodes.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for a Taylor Swift figure.
Do what?
I'll pass.
I'm looking for a Taylor Swift figure.
A Taylor Swift figure.
See, the glory is whenever Corey starts talking stupid, I can make him go bye-bye.
Good night, Corey.
There he goes. Good night, Corey.
Good night, Corey.
Good night, Corey.
Corey is Shane's Emmeett. Good night, Corey.
Yeah, that is my Emmeett.
I'm sorry, I'm dropping.
That's gimmick fringe. That's Emmett's gimmick. That ain't mine, man.
No, it's fixing to be yours.
Stay like
Wow.
You know what He-Man's theme is, right? He has the power.
There you go.
So does this guy.
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding.
He-Man truly have the power. He puts the pants on.
Puts what on?
So
He-Man truly had the power. He put pants on.
Let's do this real quick. We've been relegated to YouTube for what now? 6 weeks? 6 episodes?
Like that.
7 weeks? Something right in that neighborhood. And I'm sure most of you have already, but we still have people popping in and out. So you got a pretty good idea of what we do here. There's 3 of us that are here every week. We usually got somebody, a guest, or, one of our regulars that float in and out. We try to keep it at 4. If not for the whole episode, at least for a portion of the episode. We all pretty much so. And that portion is over. You got a pretty good idea what our roles are. I am the resident grump most of the time. I just, whatever, right? I'm the oldest, so I'm entitled, I suppose. John's a wealth of knowledge and just a bubbly guy, and Shane produces the whole thing and pretty much so manages the group on Facebook. Corey's in and out, Phil's in and out, plus guests that we have. And I am working on other guests, but that can actually be more difficult than you would think for a small group like us, because they either assume that we're just trying to make money off of them by building our numbers, or it's just not worth their time. So in light of that, if you haven't subscribed or you haven't liked, or how do you become a regular? Well, there's
a fee that you must pay.
Yes. Well, yeah. There is a hazing period that most people have either dropped out of or didn't survive. So there's that.
It lasts a long time too. I'll let you know when it's over.
They take a small part of your soul.
Yep. Still typing my responses like a sucker. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, if you haven't subscribed and you don't, you haven't liked it, do that. If you've got other people that look, we don't break news. We're not, we're not changing the world here. We're just guys talking about stuff and most importantly, we're giving everybody else an opportunity to talk too, because you don't really get that anyplace else.
No.
You get to listen, but you don't get to communicate. And
the main thing for us is hit the like button.
Yeah, right.
And that will help put the show a little further in the algorithm.
Right. And let's be honest, it will help more for me anyways. More importantly, it will help with morale, because the fact of the matter is the three of us regulars, we're married, there's kids around, it's a Sunday night thing. It would help our morale and help us to know that what we're doing is appreciated, because we are, we're taking time out of our lives to do this. And it just, algorithm definitely, morale too. That would be good to know that people are watching. So with all you guys that do comment every week, thanks so much. If you got friends or whatever, tell them about it. You will have to put up with some pretty bad puns from John every week, but my gripes are worth it. Trust me.
Every bit of it. We always got our eye on you.
So, you know what, Corey? Hit the button, Shane. That's enough. Thank you. I can't stand it. Emmeett saw one of those in the aisle of Ollie's the other day, and I almost beat him right there in public when he said, "We need to get this." It's like, nope.
Why did you even say that?
Wait, where did you say you saw it?
Ollie's.
Did you say in the aisle of Ollie's?
Shane.
This is your fault, Dave. You had to go there. As soon as you said it, I knew it was coming.
You know what was worse? Emmeett gave Marshall
I'm
a
about to
little
have
thing.
another one now.
And Emmeett gave Marshall one of those little toys out of that McDonald's box, and it was a tank with a thing in it. And he's been hanging around with his father too much because he starts making thing jokes.
Yeah.
No thing. This is something. It's like, oh man, this is just not good.
I told him when we got out, I said, you left your thing with a thing in the van.
We're constantly talking about expanding content, which again, we'll get there. I know I will eventually. We got other things. I have things planned. It's just a matter of time and effort, and you guys, all of you, understand that. If you have ideas about segments that you'd like to see or topics that you'd like us to do or whatever, you know what? Feel free. We're not a bunch of egomaniacs. We're not just going to, no, we're doing what we're doing and that's it. That's not what we do here. It's intended to be interactive.
Being a regular, anytime you want to come on, just shoot me a message.
Yeah.
Anybody in the group, you want to come on, shoot me a message. We just like to talk. We like to have a little fun. Like to grapple a little bit, complain a little bit, but we like to have fun.
Yeah.
Shoot me a message. Hey, man, you mind if I come on the show this week? Right. And I'll tell you, like I do Corey. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Corey.
He can tell just like he tells everybody else.
But no, I'm serious. We love it. I love it. That's why I do it, So, that's just what I like. Talking to people, getting to know you.
That's one thing about the con Saturday. I didn't see nobody getting upset, nobody raising their voice. Everybody was just having a great time.
I did.
Well, apparently, you weren't in that back left corner.
Oh, you saw me and Nancy, did you?
No, I'm kidding. No, it was a good show.
It really was.
Very good show.
I'm happy that they done well and looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, very much. As far as a comment here a while ago, like teaming up with them on the show in February or whatever, the fact of the matter is we always have something, if not just a basic idea percolating in the background or actually working on things in the background. So that's probably enough of that for now. But I will say this, if there was ever going to be a show in the Birmingham area Yesterday was a pretty good indication on whether that would be a success or not. I think that would be a real fair judge of that. So, yeah, whatever. You never know, right?
I'd like to have known where. It'd been nice if I'd had and maybe next time they could do that. Put a little book up there for people just put their address or just where they're from. Because I'd just be curious to see how far people came to that.
Yeah, interesting idea.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. I guess
I know, we go up to High Falls up in where's High Falls at up there? And up close to Fife, Alabama.
Yeah.
And when you go up there, you sign in, and they have you put your address down, and they say that's to kind of get an idea where people are coming from to visit the falls. That's what they're talking about setting what?
Yeah, we saw Seth going in very, very early on, and I didn't get a chance to check up with him. But by the time we got in, he was gone. So, but
yeah, I talked with Seth for several minutes.
Yeah, good.
What did he just come down there and just go in the show for a little bit? And left?
Yeah, he just come in and went around.
Yeah, because I knew I saw him, but I saw him far off, but I never did see him come by over there.
Yeah,
I went over and got my Seth hug. So Seth's a cool guy.
He is. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Well, what do you think? That it for this week? Smash the like button. Smash it. Is that what they say? Smash that button.
Smash the like button.
Smash it.
Share.
Smash.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Button.
Yeah. Scar
smash and throw you off in the ravine.
Smash the button. Scar smash the button.
We'll have something next week, no doubt. And in all seriousness, rant all aside, if you can, go on to the Kickstarter, look up Larry Harmer, support that in any way you can, even if it's a kind word. Go for it. Right?
Right. See you guys next week.
See you next week, guys.